This baby slept with 3 dogs. When his parents walked in, their blood ran cold. The one rule they swore they'd never break had just been shattered. What happened next left them speechless. Before you watch, remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss another touching story like this one, and write in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is there. From the very first day the 3 French bulldog puppies came home, Michael and Sarah had set a firm rule. The baby and the dogs must stay apart. The baby was only 3 months old, weak and helpless. The puppies were wild, hard to predict, still learning how to use their small teeth and awkward paws. Michael kept saying it over and over. "They're not mean, Sarah, but they're animals. He's too small. One cut, one mistake." "I know." She would always agree, keeping the bedroom door closed, the crib raised, the play area far from where the pups could go. For weeks, the house followed those hard rules. The puppies stayed in the front room. The baby stayed upstairs or in his mother's hold, never together, never in danger, until that afternoon. It had been silent, too silent. Michael was out buying food. Sarah was folding clothes in the other room. The baby, wearing his soft white suit with the blue spotted band, had been put on the big bed to rest. His small fists had gone loose, his face peaceful. Sarah thought it was okay just for a minute. She walked away to get another stack of clothes. She didn't see the bedroom door hadn't shut completely. Downstairs, the puppies had become anxious. They'd been crying, sniffing, walking at the bottom of the stairs for days now, like they were looking for something. On that day, their interest was stronger than the unseen wall that had always kept them away. With the door partly open, one after another, they went up the stairs, claws tapping lightly on the wood. They moved quietly through the hallway, their noses guiding them toward the room where they'd heard soft breathing for weeks. When they reached the bedroom, they paused at the threshold for just a moment, then padded across the carpet to the bed. The brown one jumped up first, followed by the gray, then the white one scrambled up behind them. By the time Sarah came back, holding clothes, the room was still quiet. She thought nothing was wrong. She finished her folding, humming quietly before going back to look at her son. And that was when her heart froze. There on the bed was the baby, still sleeping, breathing gently. But he wasn't by himself. The 3 puppies had pushed themselves next to him like he had always belonged to them. The brown one lay across his chest, head going up and down with his breathing. The gray one had moved so near its nose was touching the baby's mouth. The white one, with dark, folded ears, was tucked under the baby's arm like a toy. Sarah stopped at the door, her chest filled with fear. For weeks she had protected against exactly this moment. How had they gotten inside? Her first thought was to rush in, to pull them apart before something went wrong. But her body stayed still because the scene wasn't risky. It wasn't messy, it was beautifully quiet. The baby's hand moved, his fingers touching the brown pup's ear. Instead of waking upset, he breathed out softly, moving closer into the warmth. The puppy made a small sound back, pushing even tighter to him. Sarah's breathing stopped. She couldn't turn away. The sound of a key at the door shocked her. Michael was home. She ran to the stairs. "Michael." He heard the worry in her voice and rushed up, food bag still in hand. "What? What's wrong? Just come quietly." He walked into the room and froze completely. His jaw tightened, eyes getting narrow, as he saw his son surrounded by the exact animals he had kept distant. The bag fell from his hand, apples rolling on the floor. "Sarah," he said quietly, "what did you let?" "I didn't," she said fast, shaking her head. "The door, it must have been open. I promise I didn't." They stood next to each other looking at the impossible sight. All the warnings, all the worries, they faded against the truth in front of them. The baby wasn't hurt. He wasn't crying. He was sleeping more deeply than he ever had, held by the small bodies that had somehow picked him as their own. Michael's hands relaxed slowly. His fear didn't go away. It twisted tighter, almost hurting in his chest. Every moment he thought the baby would wake, scared, to cry, to be upset. But the house stayed silent. The four of them, one baby, 3 pups, breathed together like they were supposed to. Michael felt Sarah grab his hand, shaking. "What do we do?" he said, his throat tight. "We wait," he said softly. "Just look." So they stood without talking, watching, every heartbeat loud in their ears. The minutes felt like hours, and then their son's eyes began to move beneath his closed lids. His small lashes trembled. He was waking up. Time seemed to freeze. Sarah's hand flew to her mouth, her breath caught in her throat. Michael took a half step forward, his body rigid, ready. The room became impossibly still. Every sound disappeared, every movement stopped. All that existed was the tiny figure on the bed and the 3 puppies pressed against him. The baby's eyelids fluttered once, twice. Sarah counted each flutter like a countdown. 1, 2, 3. Her heart hammered against her ribs. 4, 5. Michael's fingers dug into her hand. The seconds dragged on, each one stretching endlessly. 6 seconds, 7, 8. The baby's breathing pattern changed, becoming lighter, faster. 9 seconds, 10. The brown puppy sensed the shift and lifted its head slightly, watching. 11 seconds, 12. The baby's mouth moved, making a small sound in his sleep. The gray puppy's ears twitched. 13 seconds, 14. Sarah felt like she might collapse from the tension. Michael's jaw was clenched so tight it ached. 15 seconds. The baby's tiny fingers curled, then relaxed. 16 seconds, 17. His face scrunched up slightly. Both parents held their breath. 18 seconds, 19, 20. And then, slowly, impossibly slowly, the baby's eyes began to open. First, just a crack. A thin line of light reaching his eyes, then wider. His unfocused gaze trying to make sense of the world. His lips parted slightly. A small breath escaped. The puppies all stirred at once, sensing he was awake. The brown one's head rose higher. The gray one shifted its position. The white one's ears perked up. This was the moment. Everything hung in the balance. The baby blinked once, his vision clearing. His eyes found the brown puppy staring down at him. For 1 heartbeat, nobody moved. For 2 heartbeats, the world stood still. 3 heartbeats, 4, 5. The silence was deafening. Then the puppy made a soft, gentle whine, and the baby's face began to change. His eyebrows lifted. The corners of his mouth twitched. Slowly, like the sun rising, his lips curved upward. Not a cry, a smile, small and sleepy and perfect. Sarah's knees nearly gave out. Michael exhaled a breath he didn't know he'd been holding. The baby's tiny hand rose up, shaky and uncertain, reaching toward the puppy. His fingers touched the soft fur, curled into it, held on. The white puppy moved closer and licked the baby's wrist, quick and gentle. The baby's eyes went wide with surprise. Sarah stepped forward, her body tensing again. But then a sound burst from her son's mouth. Not a scream of fear, a squeal of delight, high and bright and full of pure joy. The baby giggled. Actually giggled. His whole tiny body shook with laughter. The gray puppy nuzzled against his cheek, and the baby turned his face toward the warmth, laughing even harder. His face lit up like they'd never seen before. Michael's voice came out broken and amazed. He's happy. He's actually happy. Sarah's eyes filled with tears, her hand covering her mouth. They're not hurting him. They're making him laugh. The puppies responded to every sound the baby made, pressing closer when he squealed, licking his hands when he reached for them, nuzzling him gently when he giggled. It wasn't what they feared. It was what they never imagined possible. Sarah walked forward and bent down at the bed, touching her son's face with trembling fingers. The baby looked up at her with bright, joyful eyes, then back to the puppies, his small fingers holding tight to the brown pup's ear, refusing to let go. Tears streamed down her face as she looked at Michael. "All this time we thought we were keeping him safe from them," Michael whispered, his own eyes wet. But maybe they were meant to protect him, too. That day, they understood something they never expected. Sometimes the best guardians come in the smallest, most unexpected forms, and from that moment on, the baby and his 3 puppies were never apart. Did you enjoy this story? Would you have let the puppies stay with the baby after seeing how peacefully they slept together? Yes or no? Let us know in the comments below. If you like the story, subscribe to this channel and leave a like. Thanks so much for listening. See you in the next video. Have a great day.